Rangers whispered among themselves, "We need a savior." The words carried fear, desperation, and a hope they barely believed in. The battlefield had swallowed their momentum. Every step forward was measured against a deadly clock. Every shadow held a sniper. Every ridge promised danger. They were outnumbered, outgunned, and running out of time. Then she arrived. Asterisk, what city are you watching from today? If this story resonated with you, hit subscribe for more stories about extraordinary people. Her name was Captain Elara Hayes, a sniper whose reputation traveled only through whispers. She was not here to announce herself. She was here to act, to save, and to leave no trace of doubt behind. Her presence was quiet, almost invisible, but her impact would be decisive. The Rangers barely noticed her approach at first, their minds consumed by the chaos around them. The terrain was unforgiving. Dust choked the air, and the sun hammered down on twisted metal and shattered earth. The Rangers huddled behind a crumbling wall, exchanging quick, tense glances. Every heartbeat was a countdown. Their communications were fractured. Their leader had fallen hours before. Panic threatened to take hold. And yet, from somewhere behind came the calm, unwavering steps of a soldier who had seen worse and survived. Elara assessed the battlefield with cold precision. She moved with deliberate care, each step calculated, each decision measured. Her sniper rifle rested against her shoulder, its weight familiar, comforting, a tool honed through countless missions that had tested her in ways words could never capture. The Rangers watched from their cover, curiosity mixed with disbelief. She seemed almost otherworldly, a figure out of legend stepping into their grim reality. "They say she never misses," one Ranger muttered. Another shook his head, disbelief mingling with hope. "I hope she's real." The enemy was everywhere, advancing with brutal coordination. Mortar shells had turned the ridge into a graveyard of debris. The Rangers were pinned down. Attempts to move forward had been met with precise fire. Losses had mounted. Morale had cracked. The team had begun to accept that this fight might be their last. Then Elara positioned herself at the edge of the rubble. She raised her rifle, scanning the horizon with methodical intensity. Time slowed. Not for her, but for everyone who knew what was coming. She did not hesitate. She did not tremble. The first shot rang out, deadly accurate, striking an enemy sniper who had been zeroing in on a Ranger's head. The reaction was immediate. Enemy positions faltered. Chaos rippled through their lines as her bullets carved through the threats. Like a blade through silk, the Rangers watched, mouths slightly agape, as the woman they had doubted became the instrument of their survival. Her strategy was flawless. She calculated wind, distance, and angles with a precision that seemed impossible under pressure. Every shot she fired saved lives. Every pull of the trigger shifted the battle toward them. Some laughed in disbelief, others whispered prayers of gratitude. One young Ranger, wounded but conscious, muttered, "She's a ghost and an angel all at once." Elara did not respond. She did not need to. Her work spoke for her. With each successive shot, the enemy's advance weakened. The tide of death began to recede, and for the first time, the Rangers dared to breathe. Hours felt like minutes. By the time the dust settled, the battlefield was theirs. The Rangers were alive because one woman had chosen to step into the fire. She had done more than fight. She had inspired. They approached her, finally, cautiously, unsure if she would acknowledge them. She simply nodded, a small, firm gesture, and lowered her rifle. The mission was done. The enemy had retreated. Their lives had been saved. Elara did not linger. She walked away from the battlefield with the same quiet determination she had brought to it. The Rangers stood in stunned silence, absorbing what had happened. One of them finally spoke, voice hoarse with awe. "We were lost. We needed a savior. And she became that for us." The lesson was clear. Courage is not loud. Heroism does not demand applause. Sometimes it comes quietly, precisely, and in ways that change everything without anyone even realizing it until the danger has passed. The impact of a single person, committed to the mission and to the lives of others, can tip the scales in moments that define history. And that is what Elara Hayes had done. She had stepped into the war zone when the world seemed to have abandoned hope. She had reminded those who doubted that there is strength in calm, precision in action, and hope in the hands of someone who refuses to fail. What did this story make you feel? Where are you watching from? Subscribe to Soul Relief Stories for more real stories that heal the heart.